picked him up at?
Right here, right in front of this house.
Okay. Right in front of 1460?
Yes, sir.
All right. And what was he was walking in between the buildings, or?
He was walking like in the grassy area, like up towards, kind of between these two poles. And
In this now infamous neighborhood, there is almost as much foot traffic as real traffic, a cut-through frequented by kids, some following the very same footsteps as Trayvon Martin.
Like I said, it was rainy, and he was just leisurely looking at the house. Like I said, my wife I left for the grocery store, and I just felt like something was off about him.
Right.
So I said, and there's been a history of break-ins in that building, and I called previously about this house.
Right.
When the police arrived at this house, when I called the first time, the windows were open and the door was unlocked. And the police came and secured it. So I said, you know what, it's better to just call, and I kept driving. I passed him, and he kept staring at me and staring around, looking around to see who else was. I don't know why he was looking, but...
Did he walk off from there, or did he stop there last night?
He stopped, and he like looked around, and that's why that's what threw me off. Was it's raining. I didn't understand why somebody would be just stopping in the rain, especially, you know. Then it wasn't like he was trying to run to get out of the rain, and I had never seen him before. Didn't look like he was exercising.
Where was he standing at when he stopped?
Right in front of 1460.
On the sidewalk or in the grass?
No, in the grassy area.
Right in the grassy area?
Yes.
Okay. Like about right in front of where the car is?
Yes, sir.
And then
I drove past him.
Okay.
And I went to the clubhouse.
All right.
Up here on the right-hand side.
And parked up there?
Yes, sir.
And what was his... Naturally, you're good. Naturally, he left. He caught up to you up here, or...?
Yes, I called the non-emergency line, and when I got through, I parked at the clubhouse.
All right.
And they asked me, where I was, and I told them the clubhouse.
And there's a real suspicious guy. It's Retrieview Circle. The best address I can give you is 111 Retrieview Circle.
I think I gave them the address to the clubhouse.
Where'd you park at?
Right up here next to that green truck. I don't think that truck was there, but I just pulled up.
So you just pulled in here?
Yes, sir.
And this is where you got out?
No. This is where I just stopped to call.
When you come to the clubhouse, you come straight in. Actually, you would go past the clubhouse. You go straight in, don't turn and make a left.
To call, and then he walked past me, and he kept looking at my car. And still looking around at the houses and stuff. So then the dispatcher said, where did he go? What direction did he go in? And I said, I don't know. I lost, because he cut down here and made a right. I guess it's Twin Trees Lane. He made a right in there, and they said, well, what direction did he go in? And I said, I don't know, I can't see him.
Okay.
And they said, can you get to somewhere where you can see him? And I said, yeah, I can. So I backed out.
Alright.
And I made this right here. And the left here. And I parked right about where that sign is in the yard.
In front of the Ford truck.
Yes, and I saw him standing right about here, sorry. Right about here. And I saw him walking back that way and then cut through the back of the houses. He looked back and he noticed me and he cut back through the houses. I was still on the phone with non-emergency. And then he came back and he started walking up towards the grass.
He's near the clubhouse right now?
Yeah, now he's coming towards me.
Okay.
He's got his hand in his waistband.
And then came down and circled my car. And I told the operator that. He was circling my car. I didn't hear if he said anything.
Right.
But he had his hand in his waistband. And I think I told the operator that, and they said, where are you? And I could not remember the name of the street, because I don't live on this street.
Right.
Retreat View Circle goes in a circle.
Right.
And I said, I don't know. And he goes, we need an address. And I said, I don't know an address. I think I gave them my address. And they said, give us directions to get to you. And I said, if you tell the police to go straight at the clubhouse and make a left, my truck will be there. And again, they asked me where he went, what direction he went in. And I said, I don't know.
Shit, he's running.
He's running? Which way is he running?
Down towards the other entrance of the neighborhood.
Okay. Which entrance is that he's heading towards?
The back entrance.
And then I thought to get out and look for a street sign.
Right.
So I got out of my car and I started walking.
Right. Go ahead.
Are you following him?
Yeah.
Okay, we don't need you to do that.
Okay.
Alright, sir, what is your name?
George. He ran.
Go ahead.
Oh. I was still on the phone with non-emergency, and I started walking down this way. And because I didn't see a street sign here, but I knew if I went straight through that's Retreat View Circle, and I could give him an address, because he said, just give me the address of the house you're in front of. And there's no address because these are the back of the houses. So I walked through here, and I didn't see him at all. I was walking, and I was still on the phone with the non-emergency.
Okay.
I got to about here, and I had a flashlight with me.
Okay.
The flashlight was dead though, and I looked around and I didn't see anybody, and I told non-emergency, I said, you know what, he's gone. He's not even here.
Right.
Shit, he's running.
He's running? Which way is he running?
Down towards the other entrance of the neighborhood.
Okay. Which entrance is that he's heading towards?
The back entrance.
Are you following him?
Yeah.
Okay, we don't need you to do that.
Okay.
Alright, sir, what is your name?
George. He ran.
Alright, George, what's your last name?
Zimmerman.
And George, what's the phone number you're calling from?
So I still thought I could use their address, so I walked all the way through. And I actually walked all the way to the street, and I was going to give them this address, and they said, well, if he's not there, do you still want a police officer? And I said, yes. And they said, do you still want a police officer? And I said, yes. And they said, are you following him? Oh, I'm sorry, back there they said, are you following him? And I said, yes, because I was, in the area. And they said, we don't need you to do that. And I said, okay. So that's when I walked straight through here to get the address so that I could meet the police officer. And then they said, I said, he's not here. They said, do you still want him to come? And I said, yes. And they said, where do you want him to come to? And I said, you know what, just tell him to meet me at my truck.
Do you want to meet with the officer when they get out there?
Yeah.
Alright, where are you going to meet with them at?
If they come in through the gate, tell them to go straight past the clubhouse, and straight past the clubhouse and make a left, and then they go past the mailboxes. You'll see my truck.
Okay, what address are you parked in front of?
I don't know. It's a cut through, so I don't know the address.
Next to the clubhouse. If you go straight in through the clubhouse and makes a left, I have a Honda Ridgeline, silver Honda Ridgeline is parked right there. I'll meet him right there. So I started walking back. When I got to, I passed here, I looked, I didn't see anything again, and I was walking back to my truck. And then when I got to right about here, he yelled from behind me to the side of me. He said, "Yo, you got a problem?" And I turned around and I said, "No, I don't have a problem, man."
We had the TV kind of loud, but it sounded just like two or more men talking kind of loud. And so I muted the TV to see what was going on. And at that point, it kind of just sounded like scuffling around. So that's when I kind of went to just get the phone, because we've been having issues in the neighborhood already.
What kind of issues?
Break-ins and burglaries and stuff. So they've been telling us, if you see anything, hear anything suspicious, just call 911. So I just went ahead and got on the phone and called 911 at that point.
Where was he at? About?
He was about there, but he was walking towards me.
So he's coming this direction here.
Yes, sir. I believe, like I said, I was already past that, so I didn't see exactly where he came from, but he was about where you were.
Okay.
And I said, "No, I don't have a problem." And I went to go grab my cell phone, but I left it in a different pocket. And I looked down in my pant pocket, and he said, "You got a problem now." And then he was here, and he punched me in the face.
Right here?
Right
That's fine.
up around here.
Okay.
To be honest,
That's fine.
I don't remember exactly.
That's fine.
I think I stumbled, and I fell down. He pushed me down. Somehow he got on top of me.
On the grass or on the cement?
It was more over towards here. I think I was trying to push him away from me, and then he got on top of me somewhere around here. And that's when I started screaming for help. I started screaming, "Help, help," as loud as I could. And then is when he grabbed me. Oh, I tried to sit up, and that's when he grabbed me by the head and tried to slam my head down.
So were you on the cement or were you on
No, my body was on the grass. My head was on the cement.
Okay, so you're basically facing this way?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's as best as I could feel through my jacket. I felt like my body was on the grass and my head was on the cement, and he just kept slamming it. And I kept yelling, help, 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 as loud as I could. He put his hand on his nose, on my nose. And his other hand on my mouth. He said, shut the fuck up.
Male or female? And you don't know why?
And then I tried squirming again, because all I could think about was when he was hitting my head against it, felt like my head was going to explode, and I thought I was going to lose consciousness. I tried to squirm so that I could get, because he only had a small portion of my head on the concrete, so I tried to squirm off the concrete. And when I did that, somebody here opened the door, and I said, help me, and they said, I'll call 911. I said, no, help me, I need help. And I don't know what they did, but that's when my jacket had moved up, and I had my firearm on my right side hip. My jacket moved up, and he saw it. I feel like he saw it. He looked at it, and he said, you're gonna die tonight, motherfucker. And he reached for it, but he reached, like, I felt his arm going down to my side, and I grabbed it, and I just grabbed my firearm, and I shot him one time.
After you shot him, keep on going, what did he say?
After I shot him, he, like, sat up.
So you're still in this position here, basically.
Yes,
you're laying
sir.
down here. Shot him so he's in the grass.
Yes, sir. He was on top of me like this. I shot him. And I didn't think I hit him, because he sat up and he said, oh, you got me. You got it, you got me, you got it, something like that. So I thought he was just saying, I know you have a gun now, I heard it, I'm giving up. So I don't know if I pushed him off me or he fell off me. Either way, I got on top of him and I pushed his arms apart. I said,
Kind of flip him over?
I don't remember
That's
how
fine.
I got on top of him, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
But I got on his back and I moved his arms apart, because when he was repeatedly hitting me in the face and the head, I thought he had something in his hands. So I moved his hands apart.
So you had him face down then?
Yes, face down, and I was on his back. And